Okay, remember that they're changing my voice. First of all, again, I'm not racist. I just point out the facts. For example, if I say that Bill has big lips for a reason, has a face that's similar to certain black African faces, Igbo faces especially for a reason, it's not because, you know, I'm focused on the racial aspect. I'm explaining the situation. So we look at Hebrew, right? It's an Afro-Asiatic language. These people mix together to some degree. Semi means part, what have you. The parable of the sower, the true vine. Okay, true and false prophets. We see that things that have to do with reproduction are brought up. Okay, so obviously Babylon's system turns out women, so on and so forth. Beast is best A. Who's your best alpha? I think a perfect example is females like Belle. You see the big lips, you see the Igbo kind of shape of the face. Okay? So why do we expect him not to like a black guy, even a mixed black guy like me? So let's say a mixed black guy. It's an easier argument to make. She's mixed, I'm mixed, okay? I'm dark skinned, she's light skinned. You know, what's the problem? Some white people have a tan. What's the problem? Well, part of the problem is conceptions of racial worth, social conceptions of racial worth. Also, receptivity, how they're received. It's like we go to an event, right? And we're dressed up, we go to the event, and they go, oh, you know, are you sure in the right place? Let me see on the list. Okay, are you sure? Like, okay, let me see. Oh, here it is. Oh, I was selling me. I was like, come on in, right? Why did they stop to do that? Sometimes it's an accident, yeah. But I'll tell you right now, from personal experience, it's not always an accident. And it certainly has to do with conceptions of racial worth. And it affects females. Talk about food and shelter. They're making sure everyone knows that if you date the black guy, you're going to have a harder life in some ways, at least. So this leads the hero at a young age, the ugly duckling, if you will, because it took me a while to really start being very handsome. You know, I think it took me maybe till at least 11 years old or so. So I was kind of the ugly duck. I mean, a lot of little kids are ugly, but you get what I'm saying. And then a lot of people say, oh, you're cute, but, you know, when I was young, well, whatever, okay. And, you know, what the fuck? So this leads the hero at a young age, the ugly duckling, if you will, you know, start rejecting mainstream culture, what you would define as white culture, because there's white social controllers everywhere. People are whitewashed everywhere. Between white people and whitewashed people, that's the vast, vast, vast majority of Americans. So the question then arises, as a man of God, as a hero, as an athletic person, right? A lot of jocks kind of side with the black guy a little bit more, okay? What is your response? Do you roll with the bitch shit? Or do you roll with the Hoovers and the EZs, so to speak? Avalon, Watson, LBs, Compton, okay? Bakersfield, Fresno, Seven Trees, okay? So where do you stand? Do you stand with these bitch-ass motherfuckers, these woman-stealing dogs? You know, or are you fed up at some point? To me, I was probably about maybe 12 or 13. I was a little kid. I kind of saw colors. You know, it influenced me. But when I started saying, you know what, I'm going to start being a gangster, probably about 12 or 13, if I remember correctly. It's been a while. So they're filming me pretty badly, so I got to do this in clips. But, you know, I'm not saying that people should be gangsters. I'm not saying that. But I am going to say that the most logical of people, when they're younger, say, I'm going to be a gangster. And it's not that simple as to why. I pretty much explained it, but there's key social and socio-economic reasons, socio-political reasons, racial reasons. There's key reasons, even economic, that that's the case. I think it is a fucking disaster. I don't think that people should be gangsters, but I certainly don't think that people should sell their soul to the fucking devil and act like it's normal. That's unbelievable. It's like we're going to rape and kill and rip everyone off, so to speak, and we want you to act like that's what a healthy mind would do. Hi. It's like, shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. So when you make a cultural choice, no matter what it is, you know, you entered the game. And the devil's like, gotcha, right? The word game is made scrambled. It's like a psychological construct. It's like a magical construct, quote unquote. Right, like Disneyland or McDonald's or Jack in the Box. It's surrealism. You know, it's metaphors, it's figurative, it's confusion. So I enter this thing, and so when you enter it, okay, then what? Now you're a gangster, you're lifting weights, okay, you're driving, the rap music playing, you're with some thugs or whatever, or you're walking down the street by yourself or whatever, and now there's a respect that you have that you didn't have before. You said, now respect me as a warrior and as a gangster, right? A gangster-ass motherfucker, warrior for a cause. A lot of these guys have tattoos that reflect these way of thinking, this way of thinking. Also has more romantic appeal. Also has more economic appeal depending on what you're driving. But you've also entered the realm of testosterone tripping, if you will. Of macho tripping. Try not to cross game. Police understandings with different crews, gangs, groupings, and individuals. You've entered the realm of the devil. Like, okay, brute force. Okay. Now, this is how we're gonna get them. This is how we're gonna get the Negroes. We're gonna get them. Okay, I got it. Okay, you've entered that realm, and some of them are far more smooth and calculating than that, but they're still evil, and it's wrong to be evil. And they said, this is how we're gonna set them up. There's the military minds working on it, corporate minds, government minds, law enforcement, intelligence agencies. They're breaking it down. Social engineers. For those of you who are new, America sets black people up first and foremost. Because now what? Are you going to shoot out with the cops? Are you going to argue with them and get pulled over? You know what I'm saying? Fuck you, nigga. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to do what the fuck I want. Yeah, maybe I was a little over speed limit. Fuck you pulling me over for. I'll see you pulling these motherfuckers over. Step out of the car. Fuck you, nigga. I ain't stepping out of shit. You know what I'm saying? Fuck that. I know my rights, right? So they set you up to trip with them. You see what I'm saying? So they can bang on you. Now, some people are more smooth. Obviously, most guys don't respond that way. They say, yes, sir, right away, officer. Oh, right here, you know. Or, you know what I'm saying? But they're setting you up for that. And then they're trying to belittle you. Oh, you think you're a bad black guy? Well, white power with a badge. Boy! You know what I'm saying? It's not just the South or something, not just LAPD. There's a degree of that, I'd say, in every police department and law enforcement agency in America. It's the guys in the news, the sheriff, and they love to set the stage for something. They set people up to commit a crime and say, we have the high ground, and we're coming after them. They know better. You don't get away with that in my county. You know what I'm saying? In their own way, with their own accent, and so on and so forth. Obviously, sometimes police officers can be cool and cut you a break or whatever. Okay, that's not the point. I'm not here to bash law enforcement. I'm here to shed some light on the situation. Okay, so when I started saying by my actions that I'm a martial art hero, even wearing kung fu outfit, not that I emphasize kung fu, I did kung fu in the past, but that's not my martial art. It's because I wanted to communicate that I'm an angelic, a holy martial artist of honor, of the highest worth, the highest moral, mental, romantic, and spiritual worth. Mind, body, soul, spirit, the ancient scale, if you will. Then all hell broke loose. There was a rift in the fucking space-time continuum, or whatever the fuck it's called. Okay, there was a bomb going off in Beaver Cleaverville, so to speak. Okay, they were not going to allow that. They're fuming me, they're poisoning me, they're putting substances on my clothes, they're doing bitch shit at every turn to prevent that presentation, that projection, that illustration, that expression, freedom of expression, that expression. And they're trying to come up with all kinds of national security cover stories, but at some point, they didn't even have to do that. There came a point in the last 15, 20 years that it was so obvious that society's crooked that they're like, oh, whatever, everyone's a Satanist and everyone knows it. Okay. And less emphasis was put on the cover story. Public rulings seem to make less sense. The court system did things that were backwards before, but things seem to be extremely backwards now. So when we look at this, should the attractive female throw me under the bus? No fucking way. Because even when I was a young kid trying to be a thug, I was right. And the vast majority of them were so wrong, there's no words for it. They're just going to conform and pretend that the devil is right. And that's accepting the boundaries, to mark the boundaries, the mark of the beast. The betas scrambled, the brute beast, the best A, the knucklehead cop, the geek, the intelligence agency, James Bond wannabe, Satanist, Luciferian, you name it. They're going to accept the boundaries of scientific racism, of reject the Royal African Falcon black martial artist hero and suppress him and prevent his rise. They're going to accept that mark. While I transcended and overcame. So yes, it's right for them to submit to me? Do you submit to your martial arts teacher to some degree, to your priest to some degree, to your parents, to law enforcement at times, to the prison warden and guards at some times? Do you submit to your superiors in the military? But magically, the most righteous person ever, you don't think you should submit and submit more? That's fucking stupid. When it comes to who dates who, there's a large cultural component and there's a large racial component. So the vast majority of females who are mixed with black date the culture they perceive to be in. Say they're Southern European, say they're Hispanic, what have you. Okay, and they date based on that, and there's money, there's a large component of finances and social approval, social receptivity, okay, social norms. These things factor in big time. So me pointing this thing out might, if they leave my videos alone, might help me get a date. It might help a little bit other guys who are black, especially mulatto, but it wouldn't help very much. Okay, so the average things that black people are saying is controlled opposition probably help them just as much or more. So there's no romantic prerogative. There's no need for the racist and rapist oppressor to suppress this video. Okay? Everyone knows that people are being tricked into bread. Everyone knows a gold digger is called a trick for a reason, right? Gold diggers and the common gold digging trick. Okay? Because they're tricked into doing that. And it's a trick to date them because they're of little human value.